Hello ladies and gentlemen, Lanx here with another replay for you. Another one from the Quantic JakeBake replay pack, and this time he's facing off against TheoRy up here in the top right. So TheoRy is a Protoss, as you can see here. He's a Grandmaster level player as well, so he's also very good at the game. Nice little GLHF. Always nice when the players are mannered to each other. I don't know a whole lot about TheoRy. I've read up on him a little bit. I know he's got a couple of different accounts. I mean, he's really good. He competes in MLG and a bunch of other big tournaments, but aside from that, I haven't been able to find a whole lot about him. And JakeBake, of course, our Canadian player here from Montreal, and I'll probably get a couple more of his games in the replay back before I move on, because it is pretty extensive and a lot of big names in there. So, ZVP, I have covered a couple of these already, but always entertaining. It's one of my favorite matchups when I'm the Z. I don't like it so much when I'm the P. Apparently I need to protect my mothership all better. Well, that is important. You lose the mothership as Protoss, that's usually a painful experience. So, looks like JakeBake setting off his Overlord. Kind of typical area. Where's he sending it to? Just to take a look at the expo, see if he does a Forge. And he's not doing a Forge fast expand, which is pretty popular against Zerg. Particularly in Heart of the Swarm, where more macro games are common now. It's a bit of a wide area to wall off, though, for this map, so it's kind of hard to actually do the Forge fast extend. If your opponent does something like a 10 pool, then they'll likely catch you off guard. JakeBake, however, looks like he's going for a standard eco opening. It'll be interesting to see whether... Ooh, they're getting double gas right off the bat. Doesn't even have his gateway finished yet, so this is going to be interesting. He might be doing some sort of early rush. Stargate, of course, is very popular now in Heart of the Swarm. Could be going for DTs, although really you don't need the double gas anymore for that. As the Shrine is a lot cheaper now. Used to be, what, 200, 250 or something? It's about 100 or 150 gas less now. I don't play a whole lot of Protoss, so as you can tell, I'm a little inexperienced in that. JakeBake getting his pull down. No gas yet, but we'll see what he does with this. He may just be going straight mineral opening. Get a lot more drones that way, but of course puts you at risk of some sort of early pressure. So TheoRy getting his Cybercore now, and he's almost... he hasn't fully saturated his gases yet, which is interesting. He's just getting 2 on each. Kind of inefficient, but he must have his reasons. This looks like a practice build, judging by the 2 on each. And JakeBake picking up his first gas, sending out his Overlord to go... not anywhere in particular, really. Still with the ugly Overlords, but of course these all came out at the same time. All these games, that is. So 3 workers immediately put in the gas, so he'll likely be going for speed. And looks like JakeBake's Cybercore just finished up, as he's... Oh no, he's not getting Warp Gate research, he's just getting out a gateway really fast. Interesting that he's not starting the Warp Gate research right off the bat. I don't know if that's a mistake, because he could at least fake it and then cancel it while this Overlord is in position. That might be a bit of a tell. Oh, he's getting a Mother Core at the bat, I guess that's why. Interesting. And queues up another Stalker, in fact, so it looks like he might be doing some early pressure here. No expansion, no Warp Gate, no tech. So, kind of wondering what he's up to. This is going to be an interesting one to see. Early pressure by Protoss is something that I like to do, but I'm terrible at. Otherwise, I just sit back with the Protoss ball, and usually it doesn't work too well. Even though the Death Ball tends to be the best endgame composition, it's not so good in the early game when all you have is gateway units and maybe 1 or 2 robo units. So, Mothership Core moving out here. Gonna take a little while to get down to the bottom. JakeBake's already got a couple queens on the creep here, so he should be able to fend off the Stalker without too much trouble. Especially if he gets a couple creep tumors down, though it'll take a little while to get the energy for that. Getting another queen at both hatcheries. No Zerglings, even though he's got speed coming out, he's resisting the urge to blow his larva on Zerglings. He's keeping them all for the drones. And looks like the second Stalker and the Warp Gate, or the Mothership Core have arrived. Warp Gate research is now underway, but we don't even have a proxy pylon anywhere nearby, and this could be a problem. 1 queen running away. Now, TheoRy has handpicked the queen with the most energy there to stop, or to hit, as he knows that this one, of course, won't be able to use energy to heal others if it's dead. So it looks like he's going to have to get some lings out now, but he's still only made a pair. I don't know what JakeBake's hoping to do here. He's playing this very defensively, but he's not really getting any units. He's got 4 Zerglings now. He's going to lose his queen. Oh, clutch transfuse there. And the Zerglings now have speed, so they can pick up... Oh. Oh, they did get the 1. Interesting. A bit of a large use of energy there. It's 100 energy for that mass recall, but I guess it works out. So, TheoRy in the back has gotten his expansion up and is getting more gateways, kind of a quasi-wall-off. Lings are going to go out and grab the towers. And Queen's getting creep spread, but spine colors coming up. Not sure he really needs these 3 spines at this point. He could be using these 300 minerals to get another expansion. There's no real pressure coming in. Once he scouts, maybe he'll cancel them. Though it looks like he's not really scouting TheoRy at all. He's just grabbing the towers. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. So JakeBake taking a very defensive position, though I don't think he needs to. So what is he going to go from here? Okay, we do have a DT shrine coming up, so I guess my initial guess was right in that regard. Though he still isn't fully saturated the gas. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. But this DT shrine will be completed in, what, about 30 seconds. So JakeBake's going to have some problems in the near future. He does have, well, of course, you don't need the Evo Chamber anymore, actually, but it would be very wise for him to grab a couple of Spore Crawlers near his front lines. He's getting one in the back here, and that'll help. But he has no... Oh, no, he's getting one here as well. Okay, so if the DTs try to walk in, they'll get quickly picked off by these Spine Crawlers. One Ling just doing the rounds, making sure there's no hidden expansions. 3 DTs making their way down. You can see this pylon here. He lets him warp to the low ground. Now, these guys are going to get in over here, and as soon as they get to about here, they're going to be in sight of this Spore Crawler, so they're going to get picked off as they cross the line. See, this is actually kind of smart, because if you put the Spore Crawler out in front, then they're going to either see it and run away, or they're going to get hit when they're right on the edge of the attack radius. This way, they're going to be so far in, they won't be able to run away. Bam, one. Now, JakeBake must know there's going to be another one. You never send just one. And, oh, he's going to take out the Queen, though. Unless she runs. And she's running, but it's not going to be enough. And now he's just going down the drones. Now, he needs Lings or something back here to fight this, because the drones just can't do it. And there goes the Queen. Lings pouring in. But this DT, 8 kills. 9 kills. 8 drones and a Queen for 1 DT isn't too bad, although really it was 2 DTs. So JakeBake probably wants to get a couple of Overseers, and looks like he's getting a Nidus Network, which is an interesting one. We've seen him do this once before, so we'll see if it works out again against a Protoss with a Mothership Core. Dropping a cannon in the back, wise idea. And he's getting Link. And Swarm Host. Now this is interesting. So it looks like he's going to Nidus into the back and then drop off a bunch of Swarm Hosts. He's not getting the Enduring Locust, which I consider pretty much necessary. Otherwise your Swarm Hosts have no Locust on the field for about 10 seconds at a time. So we got a Warp Person coming in, some Zealots. Looks like they'll be doing a drop. Off they go. A Stargate. So moving up in the tech world. Oh, and here comes the Nidus. And it's going to get spotted. Yep, it's spotted. So TheoRy knows there's incoming now. I don't know if Stalkers is the right choice, really. Oh, that was a bit of a blunder. Walking outside of his base. He needs to put that Nexus Overcharge down. There it goes. But against this many siege units, this is clever. Because it lets you get your siege units right to the front line with no problem at all. And now they're right beside his base. And what's he going to do? Nexus Overcharge doesn't work too well against Locusts, since you just have an infinite number of them anyway. Interesting kind of tactic. I like it. I haven't seen many players use Swarm Host effectively, so this is a new one. Got a single Immortal, which if we could actually get to the Swarm Host would be great, but it's going to be way back here and getting picked off there. What he needs is a couple of force fields to keep these back, but the energy is just going to be too difficult to rack up. He doesn't have the time. The Void Ray coming in, that'll help as well. But all these Queens here to fend off the air, going to make it very difficult. JakeBake has taken his third in the meantime. He's... Oh, looks like TheoRy's so distracted he forgot about his drop. He isn't even using it. Now he is holding here, but of course JakeBake can keep this up all day. It doesn't cost him a penny. And these Locusts, they're just slowly going to whittle down these structures. He takes out the Forge, actually. That'll be a big problem. Won't be able to build any more cannons. Now, there is a lot of cannons in the field now. Gotta be careful with that DT, actually. His Overseers here will let him see any of the close units, so... Now, Zealots are a really bad unit to get up against Swarm Hosts, since they simply run in and die horribly. Now we got big reinforcements coming in, a lot of Zerglings. Oh, but a Colossi in the field, that's going to keep the Zerglings at bay. But the Queens are just going to town here. They've got their 5 damage Talons. And remember, they can actually fire at range against the Colossi, which makes them a surprisingly good Colossi counter. The Colossi don't have the range upgrade themselves, and they don't. Ling's going in here, doing some damage, but not a whole lot. Too many Zealots. Queen's actually getting picked off here. This isn't good. This attack looks like it's falling apart, actually. Really needs that Enduring Locust upgrade. I don't know if he ever picked it up. But this fight's kind of tense. This could really go either way. Oh, very excellent drop there. Picking it back up when the Locusts spawn. And running away. Oh, and he's got line of sight on those. I don't really know how he has line of sight on those, actually. Must have an observer somewhere nearby. Oh, that's not good. Taking out the Nidoswarm, very smart there. No more reinforcements, and it looks like this attack has been thwarted completely. There's really no way for JakeBake to continue. And there go the last Swarm Hosts. That's pretty much it. Last Locust here, doing a final push. Taking out a Colossi, it's not too bad. And looks like they've got that cannon. But that's that for the attack. So did he ever get the Locust upgrade? He did not. Now JakeBake has a lot of minerals banked, so he could throw down a couple of macro hatches if he felt like it, or just expand again. Oh, but of course he has Mutas, which I completely missed. My apologies. So it looks like that was what was actually... That was the real attack. So we had a nice feint in the front with all the Swarmos, although that almost won, frankly. But then a good tech switch over to the Mutalisk, and it looks like TheoRy just doesn't have a counter for it. Really needs a Mothership Core over here with the Overcharge. Void Rays just don't do too well. Void Rays don't do too well against Mutalisk. Particularly with the regen these days, they can just hit and run. More Mutalisk joining up with the flock here. Let's take a look at the units. So we've got 13 Mutalisk on the field versus 1 Phoenix. That's the only real anti-Muta force right now. 3 Stalkers and 3 Void Rays. The Mothership Core really is the most powerful thing here. Throwing down the Nexus Overcharge will give a good amount of defense. Now, of course, it doesn't last forever. So he really needs to chrono out a whole lot of Stargates, or Phoenixes. More lanes coming in, but they're going to get picked off by this Colossi force pretty quickly. Colossi Void Ray force. Might grab a Stalker on their way out, though. Just a nibble. Off they go. So a bit of an Air Force harassment going on, nothing too huge. But a couple of Zealots coming down, doing a bit of harassment. Very useful. Lings here get cleaned up entirely. Over here we got another attack going through. The Mutas have found the Air Force here. Can they actually keep up with an Oracle? 3.38 versus Mutas 4, I believe. Yeah, so Mutas can actually catch up with... oh, almost killed his own creature right there. 1 HP. That was a near thing. But not much anti-air here. In fact, almost none. JakeBake could almost certainly go in and win this if he knew. But he just doesn't realize. And he's distracted, of course, by the attacks going through his base. These Zealots do get cleaned up. I always like having a Spine and a Spore in my base, just in case. So JakeBake going in for another run here. There is an Archon, so that'll actually give them reason to pause. They'll be able to kill it, but they'll probably take some nice splash damage in the meantime. Still not enough Phoenixes in the field, only 1. And this cannon's just coming in a little late, really. Next Overcharge down, but really he could just tank it and take it out. Looks like he's going to go for the probes instead. Oh, lots of probes down. Lots and lots of probes down. And more lanes coming in the front here, and they're just doing the whole position trick on those probes. Muta's coming in, and TheoRy calls it GG. Just too much of an attack force from Berserk there. So it looks like that's game. So that's an interesting tactic with the Nidus Canal, and then dropping off a whole bunch of Swarm Hosts. Lesser players probably would have lost to that right off the bat. A very interesting tactic, because Swarm Hosts, of course, are the most vulnerable when they're walking from one engagement to another, because it takes them a moment to burrow and takes them a minute to spawn a Locust. So if the enemy has detection and they get the jump on them, then they're toast. Not much unlike most of the caster units. So interesting game. Interesting game. It's something actually I want to try. Zerg is kind of my second race, so I'll probably give that a shot in the ladder and see how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be bringing you a few more in the near future. See you guys in a couple of days. Like, comment, and sub if you'd like some more.